Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nadiah binti Muhammad Kamaldin, and today I would like to do my mini project presentation for a company named On Semiconductor Malaysia. The introduction on Semiconductor Malaysia is that it is a semiconductor manufacturing company which is located in Senawang Industrial Park, Senawang Negeri Sembilan. Basically, On Semiconductor Malaysia produce semiconductor devices such as sensor devices, analog devices, timing devices, or even logic devices. 25% of the devices that have been produced in On Semiconductor is being bought by Apple company. For the wafer fabrication process, will undergo 6 smaller process, which is the deposition process, lithography process, etch process, strip process, clean process, and back to deposition process. In On Semiconductor Malaysia, a few facilities have been provided, such as toilet, drinking water station, lockers, and even cafe for a place to rest. These facilities is a way that can give comfort and ease to the employee, and also a way to show that the employer is care for the employee's welfare. Let's take a look on the hierarchy of control measure used in this company. Let's start with the least effective first, which is the PPE. Different job scope are going to be provided with different personal protective equipment. The second one is the administrative control, where the company introduce short break, provide training, and also put out safety signage for the employee. The third one is the engineering control, where the company introduce water waste treatment plant and also local exhaust ventilation system to reduce the hazard and risk. So based on the regulation and acts that have been used in this company, the first one is the Occupational Safety and Health Act, where it is more emphasized on the noise exposure that have been produced by the machine, which might affect the employee or the workers. The second act is the Environmental Quality Act, which is the wastewater that have been produced during their production process, which might affect the Malaysian waters or the environmental waters. The third act is the Fire Service Act, where the water that is stored in the fire tank is only for the purpose of firefighting equipment system only. And the last act is the Factory and Machinery Act, where one of the act that have been emphasized is regarding the fencing of machinery, where machinery that is using cutting blades, it needs to be fencing. It need to have fence to avoid any incident happen during when the machine is on the run. 5 types of hazard, which is the first one is the physical hazard, where it is more emphasized on the noise and the temperature of the room in the production area. The second hazard is regarding the ergonomic hazard. It's about the body posture of the operator that is working, where it have to stand over 12 hours, which may lead to back pain. And the third hazard is the chemical hazard, where there's a certain job scope which require employee to change the pump and filter, which may expose them to chemical handling, which need an eye wash or even shower wash after the changing activity. And the next job scope, which is the fifth job scope, is regarding the electrical hazard, which there's a situation where employee need to change the AC and DC power supply, which might expose themselves to the risk of getting electrical shock. And the last hazard is the biological hazard, which is usually seen in the company clinic, where there's a worker that is sick and come to the clinic to ask for treatment. This is where there's a possibility where the nurse can be infected with the virus that have been brought by the workers. Emergency procedure if there is any situation happen. For an example, basically the procedure is just all about the same, where the first step is when there is an emergency procedure, security will call the facility to confirm whether the emergency is true or not, and then if it is true, and it will be proceed to call the local authority, either it's bomber or hospitals, to get help regarding the emergency procedure. So in this slide, I've been preparing 5 emergency procedure, which is the first one is the fire drill, medical assistance needed, chemical spill, bomb threat, and even the COVID-19, which is the latest situation in our country. So last but not least is about the job scope of environmental safety and health engineer. Environmental safety and health engineer are going to do a daily and a routine enforcement and also create awareness and training program for the employee. They will also create a notification, warning, or emergency system to acknowledge if there is any emergency, and also create an inspection procedure by doing the 8D reports. SH engineer also provides safety personal protective equipment based on different job scope or in that company, and also provide vouchers from the employer as a gift appreciation to the contractor or workers in that company that have fulfilled their job. So in conclusion, On Semiconductor has completely complied all the acts, and in order to ensure the safety of the employer and the employee is in a good condition.